morning, everybody. So, I want to talk about the moments of our greatest pain and how they stay with us. They never really leave. And I just woke up, so my throat's kind of like feeling a little bit dry and cracky. And it's almost giving this energy of like, this is a difficult conversation. But if you've ever been through that kind of pain, if you've ever been through that kind of heartbreak, you already know that it is always inside of you, and you don't always feel it. You aren't always debilitated by it, but it's part of you now. And I think that's what makes actors so great, honestly. Because some of the best actors out there, you can ask the people that work with them, they live in that moment, in that persona. It's almost like a psychological shift where they are that person for however long. They take on that identity. It becomes real for them. And that's why it's so genuine, because the emotions they call up are real. And that's what I want to preface this with, because what you saw last night in my head versus heart scene was real. But it wasn't happening last night. That heartbreak was built over several relationships, several situationships. And last night, I was fine. You know, it was an emotional day because of the moth and, the storm and everything else that's been going on. But I wasn't in emotional distress yesterday. I wasn't actually going through it until I needed to for the video. And I guess that's the truth of it, right? Because you go through it in the video when you're transmuting the energy. But an actor can call up that emotion, that heartbreak, what they went through, and they can use it in that moment. I could pull up that heartbreak whenever I needed to. But it's a little different because I can't cry on command, right? Confirmation. Buzz. So I can feel it, but I can't make the waterworks. Saline. You remember the shallow breaths. How difficult it is to look at yourself or look at someone else. All of the pain that comes with that moment returns. Not just because you have the emotion called up for a scene, but because you've lived that pain so many times, those mannerisms so many times. It's like an old friend paying a visit. And for that moment, it's real. But it didn't happen today. I mean, quantumly, I guess it did. These moments are all right now. right? And that's why you can really pull that emotion from anywhere, right? That's why a scent can bring you back to something so completely. That's why some people's hearts freeze in place in the moment of their greatest pain. The brain takes over and they just stop. And we just had all these videos, all these messages about how we were fighting every day to not have the brain take over. And that's true. And thank you to everybody who sent me support when they thought I needed it. Everybody that sent me a message and said, I'm here if you need to talk. Everybody that said, I felt this, you know, because that pain is still there, alive within you too. It's part of your experience, and no amount of healing means that you didn't go through it. It's right there. But it doesn't control you. You don't change how you interact with people or how you perceive the world because you've been through such pain. You use it as a force of good to help people that have been through something similar, to extend an arm, a hand, your empathy when you see somebody going through that same pain. This is exactly why you are catalysts. This is exactly why you can be sure you're here for a mission, for support, for the world. You are not stuck in the past. You've done the work to move beyond those situations that caused you that pain. But you remember it. And some people, they can't look at somebody else going through the same pain as them. It hurts too much. It brings it back too intensely. So, for everybody that stayed and watched that video, thank you for being willing to face your own pain in order to understand or help someone else. But remember that we are not a trauma bond. We are not trauma bonded. All of us here in this community. We're group 7, by the way. I don't know who needs to hear that today. You're in group 7, and you need to act like it. Be the baddie that you are. I found out I was group 7 yesterday. But there's so much more to you than that pain. There's so much more to you than tears or saline. You know? And just because you put it on for one video doesn't mean it isn't real. But just because you see it in a video doesn't mean it just happened. Humans are complex creatures. And emotions are complex too. Healing is complicated and doesn't happen in a linear fashion sometimes. I had the strangest dreams last night, but I don't think I have time for them. Lots of strange appearances. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope this is the message Spirit wanted. At the end of the day, it's all about the ripple.